Well, yo, let's get right into it. I am back with DJ Keo. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Good to be back.
I watched the video of you talking about DJs and live streaming. Mm-hmm. Weirdly enough, I made a video as well around, I think it was on New Year's Eve or the second day of January. Mm-hmm. And then I saw your video and I was like, well, wait a minute, let me modify my video. And so I modified my video, then posted today, which is Friday.
I appreciate the shout out, man. I appreciate the shout out.
And I was like, okay, now let me get like Keo on the line here and we could just like talk about, this whole DJ streaming game. I'm going to say we have 3 platforms because I'm going to exclude Instagram for now. Okay.
Yeah. It's not designed for that at all.
Yeah. I mean, I can't, again, and like I was saying in my video, you can't front on people on Instagram, the celebrity gods letting them slide through or like, giving them the thumbs up. And cats out there making money, providing for their family. You can't front on that, you know? But I just think that whole vertical sort of platform is a little weird for me,
You can't, if you could send your Instagram feed to your TV or something else, it would be better. But still, the fact that Instagram picks and chooses who's allowed to play songs and how they're allowed to play them.
Right.
I just looked at that. I was like, this is pointless. And I'm not even going to bother trying. Because I follow Maceo from De La Soul.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other DJs who do regular streams. And their viewership is just minuscule because it's not a comfortable platform to stream music on.
Right.
So if I'm watching it for a little bit, I see people come on and then leave and then come on and then leave. Because, you get a phone call, Instagram closes. And then you just get a text message, Instagram closes. So, like, there's a lot of, it's hard to use the Instagram platform to stay long-term and listen to something for an hour. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of coming and going. And so I just don't look at it as a viable platform at all.
How do you think someone like D-Nice, like I said, I think he was blessed with the celebrity gods, obviously people, powerful women, black women especially, like gave him the thumbs up and he just sort of slid through the algorithm. And, like I said, like then the tech gods were like, okay, let this guy go through. And he's smashing it with the viewerships, on a platform
absolutely.
Like Instagram, and again, and now I think he's, accepting donations.
Yes.
And again, you can't front on that. He was able to like get in right. And now he's actually monetizing what he does on Instagram. You can't front on that, man,
Yeah, there's a lot of people like Ninth Wonder. He does sets too. And he has this Cash App and all this stuff on the screen. And it's kind of a gray area because you're not paying money to Instagram to pay him.
Right.
Because you're paying it to a separate company, it's kind of a gray area, and people are overlooking it. Because D-Nice is doing the same thing. I think he's got a Cash App or Vimo or something on there,
right.
And that's the only way that this is possible for the gray area to accept money, is because you're not technically giving to him to play music.
Right.
You're just giving him a donation because of goodwill or whatever. So, I mean, like that's how it works for right now. But I think with D-Nice, he did the original stream back early days of the beer thing. He had Michelle Obama on the stream. Oprah was watching.
Those are the celebrity gods.
He had some really big people. And the thing is, though, during his stream, it cut out. The first 15 minutes of it cut out. And then somebody got on the phone call and was like, hey, Zuckerberg, fix this. And then he got a 4-hour stream, like no big deal.
Like, dude, that's what I mean.
It's not for mere mortals. Like
the celebrity gods like placed their hands on his like Instagram feed and made it happen. And like I said, again, you cannot front on that. The guy got in, he got in right, and now he's doing his thing. So the other 3 platforms really are Twitch, YouTube, and the DJ specific MixCloud. So where do you want to start? Which one do you want to start with?
Well, we can start with MixCloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
So MixCloud, MixCloud actually did the right thing. They paid the majors. So now DJs can, post their live streams on MixCloud without getting a copyright, flag. They could just go right through. They can play anything, But the platform is, DJ specific. So like we were saying, you're speaking to the choir with that. So is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing. I made a video about it and somebody made the comment that I don't want to play for the normie people. I only care about the DJs. And I was like, that is a terrible strategy. So
you're not playing out then, basically.
Exactly. I look at that person, and I don't want to call names or whatever, but like, I look at that person who doesn't have a career playing music.
No,
like
not on the outside.
You don't make money. You're somebody who wants to DJ, but you're in your house still. The people who have a career playing music only play to people who are normal, the normie, quote unquote normies.
Right.
Your cousin-in-law, your brother, right? Sister, uncle, like that's who you play music for. You don't play music for a room of 500 other DJs. That doesn't exist. And the 500 other DJs feel like they're better than you and they should be on stage instead of you. So that's not going to work out.
We have big egos, DJs.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't like playing in front of other DJs too. It's not even like a insecure or whatever. I just think it's pointless. Like when I watch other DJs, I watch for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, that was a cool mix, or I like that song here. And then I'm out because I don't care. I don't, having a platform that is specific only to the audience that's already there, like that baked in audience.
Yeah.
I don't feel that's useful because these guys are never going to come to your party. They're not going to support your merch. They're not going to, like I'm saying, like that audience is just there to critique or just learn something from you, but they're not beneficial to your career.
Not at all.
So I look like it's a waste of time. I don't know.
And because it's such a DJ specific, platform.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, not a lot of, people outside of, you being a DJ know about that platform, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like, just a bunch of people who aren't DJs know about MixCloud. I mean, again, I post a lot of DJ sets on MixCloud. It was really the only platform where you can post a DJ set. I mean, this was before they had this like live, sort of like product, but you can post a DJ set without it, getting dinged as well.
Yeah, because everybody came from SoundCloud, and they're
right, exactly.
MixCloud is the only way you can go.
Right. So, in America, I think like MixCloud, you weren't able to rewind whatever you were listening to, especially if it were like a DJ set and it was just like music out there. You weren't able to rewind it back. I heard in Europe you can do that, but I'm not sure.
No, you can't do it in North America at all. It's straightforward.
So you can't even do it.
The last time I used it like that, I haven't used MixCloud to put my own mixes on in a while. I've gone there to listen for stuff, but I haven't bothered to rewind. So I'm not sure. I'll say that I'm not sure. I don't want to say that we're 100% right on that, but the last time I used it to do that, I couldn't. So, I mean,
right.
It could make changes.
And someone, I'm not going to mention the name, but someone was like, well, hey, I have like 20, 40,000 followers on MixCloud. I'm like, but are they DJs, right?
Yeah.
And can you actually have 20 or 40,000 followers who are exclusively DJs? I don't know, maybe. But so, I got a subscription, they sent me a, some sort of a trial. They're like, hey, here's a 30 days for free, and then 3 months half price. So basically the $15, you're basically paying $21 for 3 months. So I tried it out. I didn't do a set, but I just wanted to see the quality, everything else. I've seen some really good quality DJ sets up there. I've seen some really wild DJ sets where,
Yeah.
I mean, people can have like the motion graphics going on, and everything is so busy, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but it's not. It's obviously it's not a Twitch, it's not a YouTube, and so I'm not quite sure. Like, I like the platform. I like that. I like what the guys over at MixCloud did. They said, hey, they're DJs too. And they were like, hey, you know what? Let's do this for DJs. And I really like that, right? But again, I'm not quite sure for me personally. I don't know how I feel about doing a live DJ set, me personally. How do you feel about that? You think that's something you would do?
Probably not.
But why not?
I could put mixes online. I just, the idea of people watching me mix is boring. Yeah. I'm not a rah guy like, yo, get on the mic and screaming and jumping up and down, throwing cakes or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just twisting the knobs, doing this. And I'm not, I find that boring. I don't know who would sit down for a whole hour to watch me do this. Like, I don't know.
It's like, as a matter of fact, when I'm out DJing, before all this stuff we're going through happened, I was never a microphone person. I never got on a mic and like amped up the crowd. I consider myself a martini DJ. I like DJing in like nice, smoky lounges and, just being that person in the background, just playing really dope music. So, yeah, I'm not that whole person, getting on a mic and this, that, and the other. And then if you're a person who is solo, so you're in your, DJ studio and you're DJing and you're live streaming, then you're like not only concentrating on mixing, but you're also looking at, the messages that are coming in. Yeah, so it's just like, it's just like, oh, what am I doing here, right? And But yeah, so... But again, MixCloud is the platform to do it legally.
Yeah. All of these platforms, they have their pluses and minuses. But for me personally, I don't want to watch another DJ. I know how to do that.
Right.
I've done that professionally. It's not interesting to me. So I would rather get the audio of it and then listen to it in my car or something like that. But for me to sit down and watch it on my phone or on my TV, I'm never going to do that, ever.
And the other thing I do when I'm watching live streams, and I don't watch live streams a lot, but sometimes I just like, oh, here's a live stream, right? So when I'm watching a DJ on a live stream, as a DJ, I'm waiting for the DJ to mix in a record because I want to hear what his like handle is. I want to see what he's mixing in and how he mixes like the next record in, and like, oh, well, wait a minute, why did he bring it in there, and not here? I would have done this differently. So again, we're not only judgmental as DJs, but we have these really big egos as well. So I find myself doing that a lot, waiting for a DJ to mix in tracks. And it's kind of difficult because if that's what I'm doing and the DJ plays the track for, the track is playing for like 3 to 4 or 5 minutes, then I become bored, then I leave. So it's rare that I even look at someone for that long anyway, because I'm like, I don't want to hear a whole song, I mean, I'm a 3-minute guy. I mean, I play my tracks for like 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 30 seconds, and I'm mixing in something else,
Yeah, I think I'm around like 2 around 2 minutes. Like, we get to the second chorus for, just like regular songs. Second chorus, I'm gone. That's the end of that song.
It's like,
I don't go past that second chorus. I don't care how popular the song is, how big it is, a big of a hit. Second chorus, I'm gone. I'm going to the next thing.
Yeah, I have I have a set journey that I want to take people on. Again, even if they're not looking at me, like you said, I don't want them looking at me anyway. I want them chilling out, drinking their martinis, hanging out with their girls, hanging out with their boys, and just that music is in the background. It's just something to have a conversation with. It's just really cool to be in that sort of setting. So
see, you made a good point about boiler room sets.
Yeah.
Because you're like, they're filming a DJ plus the crowd.
Yeah.
So you get to see people dancing and what's going on back behind the scenes and all this other stuff. It's not just somebody pointing a camera at a turntable or whatever and somebody pointing a camera at your face. Yeah. They're mainly looking at the audience and then partly the DJ.
Yeah.
Or it's at an angle you can see both.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more interesting to me. I've sat through Boiler Room mixes like a whole hour and something. That's way more interesting. But just watching the DJ is boring. I don't get entertainment out of that.
You know,
if you're just gonna play two songs together, I'm not gonna learn anything.
Yeah.
So
exactly. You know, Boiler Room, and there was this and also I think Pioneer Sounds or D Sounds or something like that. But Boiler Room and Dance Trippin' TV, they did it dope. You know, Dance Trippin' would go to the festivals and the production value, you know. Yeah, they had the 4K footage and everything. You know, Boiler Room is, I don't want to say unique, but it is something that I can watch because they have a slew of different DJs playing different genres, different styles. Sometimes these DJ sets, it's like a DJ in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I've seen some craziness on Boiler Room.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, like people are sweating on you, you know, drinks, you know how people get wild in clubs, you know, and I'm just like, but that's kind of cool because that's part of the culture, you know. It's just like, let's put these DJs in the middle of a crowd and people get into that. People can watch that, you know, but a stream, I'm not sure. So, so let's get to Twitch now. Twitch, like you were saying, is mainly a platform for gamers, right?
Yeah, that's what it was designed for, is for video games. Yeah. They couldn't do it on YouTube until YouTube was like, oh, no, come back here. We're good.
Right.
They used to ban stuff on YouTube for video games, and that's why Twitch started. and then it got bought out by Amazon, I believe.
Amazon, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the other weird thing for me because, I mean, I was reading that, you know, DJs were getting kicked off or shut down. Their streams were being shut down. I do see DJs streaming on, you know, Twitch. I know people stream on Twitch. I'm not quite sure. Really? I'm not quite sure if you can view a past DJ live stream. Can you do that?
Yeah, you can. It depends on if they let that stay up. A lot of live streams, they'll make it so that you can only watch it live to make people watch it. Because if you let people watch it a couple of days later, you're gonna have like 3 views during the time when you're doing it. You know, like when you do the live stream on YouTube, you can cut it off so you can only watch it when it's happening. And it depends on the person, really. But Twitch is a unique platform because it wasn't designed for what they're using it for. And there's a whole music section and it's full of, you know, musicians, people who play piano. They're just playing on Twitch. It's all kind of things. Like it's National Geographic for everything. But the problem I have with Twitch, and I think we're going to get into that in a second, the demographic is for the younger people who was designed for the thing in the first place. For like Instagram was designed for pictures, so it doesn't take into account you playing music on it correctly or streaming something. It's designed for the one thing. This was designed for people to be playing a game with a camera on them and talking about what's happening during the game. So the bulk of the audience for Twitch, it's the kind of the same thing for MixCloud. The audience do you want to reach, the average regular people, they're not there. And so if you're large enough, you can bring people over to you, then it's great. It's a great platform. You can make money on it. Depending on what kind of music you play, they'll leave you alone. You know, you're allowed to leave mixes up there and people can come watch them later. Like it has all the benefits of YouTube. However, a good chunk of the audience is there for something else. Right. So, and because it's a smaller audience, it's not like YouTube is everybody with the Android phone, everybody with the iPhone, everybody with the Roku TV, everybody with the laptop, everybody around the world can get on YouTube. And everybody knows what it is. If you ask somebody, you walk up on the street and ask a random person, hey, do you watch Twitch? And they'll be like, what the hell is Twitch?
Yeah.
Most people have no idea what it is, and if
None.
they do know it, it's for Fortnite. It's not
Right.
to hear Jazzy Jeff.
Mario Brothers or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
believe that game
exactly.
is still popular.
Yeah, they're watching games and stuff. And it's a younger demographic too, but they're not there for you, or there's not a large enough audience there for that. Now, you can definitely, if you're skillful with the social media and stuff, and you know how to work everything, you got a little bit of fame to you, Twitch is a great platform. But most DJs suck at all of this stuff. I'm terrible at social media. I mean,
I need a
I finally
team,
got my
dude.
YouTube channel. Yeah, like it's a lot of work.
I'm
I'm
like, I
terrible
would.
at Instagram and Twitter.
Right.
I could not tweet for weeks on Twitter. I just forget I have an account. And so the only thing I'm really focused on is YouTube. All this other stuff, I have it. And so I don't, yeah. DJs are terrible at it. And I think a lot of the larger DJs who have access to PR people, or they can just afford to have an assistant do it for them, it makes it easier. So you can either grind and this is your only job and this is the only thing you can do all day, or you have somebody else do it, or you're like all the other DJs that are on there who have 5 viewers for all of your streams. And I don't know.
I think YouTube is probably the perfect platform for DJ streaming.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's global.
Yeah.
It's synonymous. It's ubiquitous, basically, right? It's all over the place, right? And people, and it's not just like for Twitch. It's just like it's mostly gamers. Maybe 80, 90% gamers. MixCloud is DJ specific. You're looking at 95% DJs. YouTube, you have everything. This is the second largest search engine on the planet Earth. And again, another behemoth when it comes to market cap, the value of like Alphabet. Not quite sure why, they won't just pay the majors and say, hey, you know what? Let's put these DJs let's give these DJs the ability to live stream legally, and we can put ads in front of their videos. They can monetize it, yada yada yada. Why aren't they doing that?
Well, I think with YouTube in particular, YouTube, when it first got started, it was the upload clips from TV shows or whatever, and all the majors, all the record companies, everybody sued the crap out of YouTube to stop them. And so it's only recently, I think with the last, when did SNL start putting their YouTube clips on the thing? Because after SNL had a big thing about fighting. Oh, I lost audio on you.
I know for a second. I said you were talking about SNL. Man, they get a lot of views on those clips, don't they?
Yeah. But SNL was initially fighting to, I don't know if you remember the Lonely Island thing. I can't remember. It happened during Obama's term. So it was like maybe 10 years ago.
Wow.
They did some clips and they posted it on YouTube, and other people posted on YouTube. And SNL sued, NBC sued to get it off of there, because at the time everybody was fighting to keep their things off of YouTube because they thought it was a black hole and they're going to lose money. And then they realized, like, oh, wait, this is beneficial for our show. This is a huge boon for us.
Right.
And so they started putting all of SNL skits on YouTube, and it helped the show tremendously in that time period. Like, it helped everybody. And record companies were like, well, we got to get our music videos off of YouTube. And then was it Vimo? I can't remember the Vivo, the video channel or whatever for music videos.
All right.
They got permission to put their things on there, and it ended up helping all of these videos and all these artists. Justin Bieber benefited greatly from the advent of YouTube.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A huge deal. The Baby song had like 1 billion views before all this other stuff. And you got to think of like Psy with Gundam Style. All these things benefited
that was the
from
first
people playing
billion
it.
view video, wasn't it?
Yeah, they all benefited from having their content on there. So I think that the record companies, they didn't realize, or they still haven't realized, that the business model isn't stopping it from being on there, is to embrace it being on there. Once they do that, I think it's going to revitalize the music industry as a whole.
Well, isn't Billboard counting YouTube views now in terms of like, their charts? I think they're doing that now.
Yeah, they are, but it's only from the stuff that the artist uploads or Vivo or whatever. So they're only counting those things, but they're not counting if you and I uploaded their song, which they should be counting that because it is a listen, but they're not looking at it like that.
Before, when I first started my YouTube channel, I was some of the first things I did was I posted DJ sets. They were just sets I recorded, and then I would just post on YouTube, some really cool artwork as a thumbnail. Did it that way. I would post it, then I would get all these like copyright sort of like dings, right? And YouTube's algorithm would tell you like, hey, this song playing between 2 minutes and 6 minutes, the artist says, it's banned globally. They won't let you play it. So, I was able to then like, put something else in there, not do the whole set over, but sort of like, dub it over and, repost it. And it was okay. But then I was like looking at like just the copyright, sort of like dings on my account. And they weren't like straight out, copyright infringement. They were just like, hey, this is like copywritten, right? And I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that, right? I don't want that. Yeah. I mean, like, imagine it's like you're putting all your blood, sweat, and tears into building your YouTube channel, and the next thing you know, they kick you off because you have all these copyright dings. Mm-hmm. Now, which platform are you going to go to now?
There's not a lot to choose from.
No.
See, I think everything has like a Goldilocks type problem. So, YouTube has all the people, but they're the heaviest with the copyright. Twitch is probably the most designed for the streaming platform, but it works, but there's not the people there. MixCloud is the perfect platform for DJs. They accept you. They allow you to play the music. You can monetize it. You can do all this stuff. The people aren't there. And so, like, every platform has a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, every platform has that one thing that kind of diminishes it. I think all of them, YouTube is probably closest to what you want because of the people there, and you can kind of work around the other problems there. But as it stands right now, streaming DJ sets needs a little bit of help. And like I said in your comment, like, we're on the ground floor of this thing. And so if people get together, if enough of us to get together and be like, well, we need this and this, and then we can show how we're beneficial to the labels and the artists, I think there could be some kind of movement there for them to accept it in all of the platforms. Like how MixCloud allows you to upload the songs and everyone gets paid from that should be the same thing on Twitch and YouTube.
Right. Because again,
it's the same concept.
Again, you can, I mean, I don't know what this costs. I hear like, to, pay this fee so that, if to the majors, it's, millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not billions of dollars, right?
I mean, let's be real here. Spotify is still paying you 0 of a penny. So, I mean, it's not that much money. When you get to the nuts and bolts of it, it's not that for each individual person who's playing music, it's not that much money. And they could deal with it, but they don't want to.
Right. And imagine the ad revenue that, YouTube can generate if they just paid the majors, right? You're paying the majors. It's like, okay, now these DJs are becoming popular. They get their, 4,000 watch hours, their 1,000 subscribers. Now they're able to monetize. And then the next thing you know, they're getting all the views. Ads are going up. They're throwing ads in the middle of DJ sets. Sometimes a lot of YouTubers, they get crazy with the ads. There's a few YouTubers I watch who, it'll be a 10-minute video and it's like 6 ads in a 10-minute video. It's just like, can we not do that anymore? But for me, if I really like you, I'm a watch the ads. And sometimes those ads are like, I've seen some really slick 5-minute ads on YouTube.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz had a 5-minute ad. He was doing him and his daughter was like, promoting some sort of like luggage. And, they were like in a Caribbean island. And I was like, oh, this is slick, right? I'm like, I'm watching this, right? It was like a mini movie, right? So it's just you can monetize that. So again, if it's, let's say you're paying like $50 million to the labels, right? Just put a number out there, 50 million. You mean to tell me YouTube doesn't think that they can recoup that back in ads?
Well, I think you should go the Spotify route and say, hey, while you do your mix, we're going to cut an ad in the beginning that you cannot skip. We're going to put 2 more ads in the middle, and you can't skip those either. But you could pay us, $7 a month, and you don't have any ads. Right. You pay for the YouTube, is it YouTube Red or something? I forgot what it's called. But you can pay for that service. No ads for you. Go on about your business and they can easily do that. Allocate the money that you're supposed to get from the stream, let it go to the artist, and then you trickle back down some for you for putting it together. Everybody's happy. It seems like a simple thing to do. MixCloud could do the same thing, because I think MixCloud, their system is that concert type system where you pay to see someone do a stream, and then you can kind of give people money for their stream as well, which I don't want to pay money to see a DJ stream.
I don't know
if it was in person, if it was in person, like I've paid money to see Jazzy Jeff in person. I paid money to see Bismarcky mix. Scratch, DJ Scratch. I paid money to see him do some stuff. So like in person, but that's a different vibe because you can dance and it's like a party vibe. There's a bar.
Culture.
Like this,
you're embedded in the culture.
Yeah. I paid money to go to a beat battle to watch some people play some beats. I'm like, I'll do that. But at home, I think the riddle to all this is that because Spotify exists, people were like, I don't really need a DJ anymore to play music on his screen. Right. If I want to hear the song, I have a spot. Everybody's got a Spotify account. Go to Spotify and put your playlist together. Yeah, and that's what true. DJs are battling right now, for you to go to MixCloud and Twitch and whatever. So, the Spotify is where your normies go to listen to the music you just played.
Right.
They put the Shazam up on the phone and they pick it up and then they go straight to Spotify. So we're battling a lot of things right now as a culture, and we're trying to shoehorn a thing that is, you do DJing is a thing you do together. It's a cultural thing together where a bunch of people get together, they dance, they vibe out, they listen to you while they're eating food or whatever. They're talking, you're in the background. It's a cultural thing that people enjoy music from. And it's not necessarily like everybody's turning and facing you like a concert. They're not really doing that. Everybody's vibing on the corner. Some people are dancing, some people are talking, some people are at the bar, but they're not all the like a theater. All the seats are facing forward watching the DJ play music. Nobody's doing that. And so we're trying to shoehorn the party in the club into you sitting down and watching us like a concert or TV show. It's true.
So,
and it doesn't work.
I think that if YouTube had a way where DJs can do live streaming, that would be the platform I would do it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I already have a YouTube. Yeah, I already have a YouTube channel. People know what I do. People know what you do on your YouTube channel. It'd be a little easier, The other thing I would do is, in terms of like a time limit, I don't know if I'd be DJing for like 2 hours on a live stream. I think an hour that would be my top right there, like an hour.
Yeah, I would treat it like a radio show, and I think that's what a lot of people were trying to do.
Yeah.
And I've done radio shows, and there's a format, and we had to cut to commercials, and we had to do a bunch of other stuff. And so like it's a different vibe. It's hard to recreate. But I think too is that people weren't watching some people have GoPros or whatever inside the studio, but people weren't watching the DJ play music. They're watching the host.
Yeah.
Or they're watching the control channel or whatever. Like, I don't know. We're trying to shoehorn something else into this thing that may or may not take. And I think the problem is that we're trying to force a circle into a square at this point. The reason why people go to hear DJs play music is to dance and vibe out at a club. But if I'm at home, I can maybe dance in my corner or whatever, but I'm missing out the cultural thing of the people talking and the meeting people, that kind of thing. And that's a huge factor for why people go to DJs, is the people part. And there's no way around that right now. And I mean, we have a lot of stuff there that's going against us. And the other thing too, I think, is that there was a limitation with how many people can be at a certain amount of venues.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a DJ, you can be a DJ, but if you're a city, there's only 12 clubs, there's 12 clubs.
That's it.
Those are the only people DJing, is those people in those 12 clubs. You could do a house party, you can do something else somewhere, but it was a resource that was finite. Whereas now it's just unlimited as far as the eye can see. There's a lot of people all doing the same thing. And so it's not as special as it was before. Like, I've done boat cruises and people love going to a boat cruise. And that's just a unique thing to that type of culture or that vibe. But, you know, clubs and lounges, that's a unique thing to that. But YouTube, everybody's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they got a camera and they got a green screen or whatever. It's the same. You're not getting anything special. Right. You know, each club doesn't look the exact same.
No,
each
the light show is different, the whole nine,
Everything's different. The vibe
sound
different.
System is different,
I don't like this club because the plants smell in the back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's people have different reasons for why they go. This one's closer to my house. This one, there's better girls that go to this party. Like, there's factors for why everything is different, but everybody's doing the exact same thing. And that's one of the largest reasons. Like, outside of just, I don't like it, I don't think it's interesting to me. I don't want to do something that I wouldn't watch. But, the fact that I haven't figured out a way to DJ on a stream, YouTube, Twitch, or whatever, and have me do something different. Like, my YouTube channel is different than Mojax or Phil over DJ. I do something completely different from all of those guys, and same thing with you. And so that's the thing that makes people say, you know what, I gotta check out what Control's doing over here, or what Basil's doing over here. Like, everybody's looking at something. Yeah. Crossfadr is doing something different. Everybody's doing something different in all of these different places, and so that makes it unique. And we segregate, and everyone goes into these sections for the things they like for different reasons. But as far as the stream goes, it's the same, and I haven't seen anything different, honestly.
It is the same, and that is another interesting segue, because now we go into designs of live streams.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
I've seen some really goofy live streams. People playing like, Latin like cartoons in the background, which are really interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then I just saw one like a couple of days ago where this guy was like completely done up. I mean, his whole set was motion graphics. He had all this lighting going on. He even lit himself up. And I was just like, what? I mean, why? This is scary. Why am I watching this, right? I'm just like, this, now I have to go to bed with this like on my dome, It's just like, this is ridiculous, right? And so, I love the DJs who, that are just DJing and, they've got the vinyl, shelving, they got the vinyl shelves in the back. I mean, I love that, I love seeing that. But, in my video, the last video I posted, I just thought that sometimes some of these sets are just too busy and too much to watch, I've seen some DJs do some live streams with like excellent production value. I mean, just, a whole crew out there doing it up, and then, whatever they're doing in post, they just bring it together and it looks really cool. And I think, again, it's different to be in a booth at a lounge, at a club, at a bar, and just, spinning records, DJing. But it's totally different to like do a live stream. And again, it's not the same, like you're in person, you're there with the culture, on like in front of a camera, you're just, in front of a camera, so I don't know if there's any value there, but I do know that if you are going to live stream, you just got to have a really interesting set. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that matters because, let's be real here. You've been DJing for a long time. I've been DJing for a long time. DJing is boring except to other DJs, and they're only watching to nitpick. Yeah. So, I watch Jazzy Jeff, and I want to see what he did with his mix. Like, I'm not interested in everything else. I'm like, how did he mix that? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's like those are the things that I'm looking for. Yeah. What song is he bringing in next? Like, that's a terrible way. I can't sit down and enjoy the show, and so. Like
it's the way it is with DJs.
If I was going to play it for like my sister or like my niece or something like that, I've asked her about this, and she loves music. She finds obscure songs, and she's like, my entire family is heavy into music. My dad's a singer. My brother-in-law's a producer. My brother's a producer. I produce music. My sister was a composer. She put out albums. Like my entire family is designed around music. And so I was talking to my niece about this, and she said, I could care less about watching you DJ. I just want the end product so I can listen to it in my headphones while I'm going to work. Right. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I get it. And she sat down with me at parties, and she's watched me play, and she's in her phone like this. I'm like, don't you want to see me do stuff? Like, she's like, no, I don't care. She's watching the crowd, and she's watching other things, but actually turning around and sitting in a chair to look at what I'm doing, she's not doing that. And I think most people feel that way. This is really for other DJs. Streaming is honestly a product designed for other DJs and not average regular people. I think the D-Nice thing caught on because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to see who's in this stream. Right. He's shouting out Oprah, Michelle Obama is saying what's up. Like, Jeff Bezos said what's up there. Like you're in a different spot.
He's killing it. He's killing it.
Yeah, I'm saying we're in a different spot for D-Nice, and he's doing something different. That's more of a show. D-Nice
is killing it.
But for you and me to go on Instagram, there's not a lot going on, and I think it like we talked about the Versus thing. It's a similar aspect of
not into that.
Well, I'm just gonna watch somebody play their songs. I'm not interested in that. And like the only thing that was interesting to me was the reggae one. And it's also because I'm Jamaican, but that was the only one that I found. I was like, oh, this is highly entertaining.
Yeah.
But all the other ones I've seen, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm done with this.
If YouTube said, hey, you know what, DJs, you can live stream, would you do a live stream on YouTube?
Maybe. If YouTube could have a thing like, say you play a song, it analyzes the song and pops up the artwork and it has the name of the person underneath it, and it allows people to have a link to go to buy their song or go, play it on your phone, whatever. If they could do a system like that, I think YouTube would dominate, like just absolute dominate all of these streaming services.
Okay.
So something like that would be cool. Right. I actually, initially when I made my YouTube channel, I wanted to do some mixes like that. And I put together the artwork and I had it on the screen. But I never uploaded them because YouTube dinged all the songs before. So I was like, damn it. This was
Get out of here.
I spent like 2 days on this thing because I did the mix. And then I had the artwork come up when the song was playing with the name of the artist. Like just how my YouTube channel has my name and thing. That's what it was designed for. I just took that thing and moved it over. But initially, it was where my logo is. That's where the artwork was. And it had the name of the song, the name of the artist, and the label there, and the year where the song came out. Mm-hmm. And so I had that throughout the whole mix. And I was like, yo, this is genius. Everybody should be happy. I'll leave links to the thing. Nope. YouTube was like, nope, copyright, get out of here. But that I was always thinking about like that kind of system where, okay, you want to give credit and you want to make sure these people get paid. If you could do something like that, I think that's a win-win for everybody. But
now here's the weird thing, right? Like if you post a DJ set on YouTube, and like I was saying, I used to just post a DJ set. It was just an audio file. What they would do is they would analyze what I was doing and and create a playlist for me, right?
Yeah, it's in the section, but I want it on the screen, like kind of like how people do for Twitch stuff. They have things pop up on the screen like that. I want it on the screen.
Very interesting.
Some people are watching, some people are just behind the scenes. Like usually if you play a copyrighted thing, a song, it'll be in your comment section and it'll say where the artist was and whatever. But if you can do that, you can do the artwork and put the thing on the screen too.
Okay, so from a technology standpoint, YouTube is half the way because they already have the ability to analyze the music and say, hey, this is this artist, this is this song, this is the year, blah, 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 right? Yeah. Now, if you look at something like a few years ago, Amazon acquired IMDb, which is, the sort of
the movie
database, right? They integrated IMDb into Amazon Video. So now when you are watching when you're watching a movie on Amazon, right, so and if you go info, it tells you at that specific scene.
Yeah, which actor is on the screen.
Right.
I think that's brilliant.
Now,
do that for music.
Does that mean that because Amazon already figured it out, Bezos is sort of brilliant in a lot of ways, right? Because they already figured that out. Could that possibly mean that they're thinking about using that same sort of dynamics in terms of like recognition, audio recognition with Twitch, so they already have Amazon Music, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, now do we create this sort of like service or do we acquire a service like that? And do we integrate it into Twitch? And then do we say, okay, let's pay the majors. And now we have the ability to give DJs the ability to play live music. And the other interesting thing is, you were talking about Shazam and, I was using Shazam a lot, but Apple acquired Shazam. So now you don't even need the app if you, have an iPhone. All you do is, you can just put that on your home screen or your control center, and you can just, Shazam your music like that. And then when you do, it automatically goes to, obviously, Apple Music. And the same thing with Apple Fitness Plus. If you go through one of their workouts, they're playing all the music, and then you can download the Apple Music playlist, right? Or at least, add it to your, Apple Music playlist. So the technology is there. Amazon did it with IMDb. YouTube is already doing it by saying, okay, you're playing like, an hour worth of music, and here like the 15 like artists and tracks that you played. They already have that.
Well, and Shazam has done the heavy lifting already for you. They got the artwork, they got the song, the artist.
Yeah, so that's wow, that's really interesting. I mean, that could be a way around it because you're saying that, hey, this is the song, this is the artist. Go listen to it now on Apple Music or Amazon Music or Spotify, and that's a way that you may not have to pay the majors because now they go into your music platform, your streaming music platform, and playing it there, and the artists and the labels are getting paid. Interesting.
I mean, you could do something like that. You could make it so that you can't save your mixes. Like there's so many avenues that they could take to kind of appease the record labels so they can get happy about what they're doing. But the record labels are still trying to sue and remove things off the internet. So I don't know if we're there yet.
Let's zip this up. So the streaming game is really interesting. Again, it's probably something I'm not really interested in doing. I'm okay with doing some live streams, not DJing. I think for me, like doing like a talking head or like, some sort of a podcast live stream would be really cool. But for DJing, it's just like, I'd rather do that like, after this whole lockdown is over, get back to that. I'm not going to say I won't do it. I'm just going to say right now, I'm not really interested in doing that. But I do think that the best platform to do it on if they can work through the whole legalities of it, would be YouTube. But right now, the best platform for DJs to live stream DJ sets is definitely MixCloud. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just about to say that it's the safest out of the bunch.
Yeah,
and you just have a audience problem, and so you have to figure out how to get your audience over to MixCloud.
Yeah,
but as it stands right now, it's the safest and probably the best thing for DJs. But I don't know how we gather our audience or people, the random normies as I call them, how to get them to download the app or even just to use the service, to even pay or whatever to use the service. As long as Spotify exists, I don't think people will pay, like just regular average people. I don't think they would pay to download a mix from somebody. But I think here's the funny part. So these same people who probably wouldn't pay to download a mix from MixCloud or whatever would absolutely go on YouTube and give you a super chat. So it's like I don't know where the disconnect is, but like I've seen lots of people use the super chat thing on streams on YouTube, and but they probably wouldn't do it for music because of Spotify and these other things. If you're paying for Tidal, you're not going to pay for somebody to listen to their music unless you're a super fan of them. Yeah, and I think that's a huge factor for how that thing doesn't work for that. It maybe work for singers, like if you're gonna do some kind of unplugged special or something like that on there. I think people would pay money to go see that. But for DJs, like everybody's a DJ. It's the best system. It meets all of your needs.
Yeah,
you just have to build your audience.
That's
the toughest part. More than putting your mix together or even DJing, the hardest part of DJing is building an audience.
Yeah, that's true. Well, folks, there you have it. If you're gonna do like live streaming DJs, go over to MixCloud because they have the assets in the platform for DJs to actually do it in a legal and proper way. So DJ Keo, I want to thank you for like hopping on again, and until next time, Absolutely. Peace.